Hopefully the third time will be the charm. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is frustrating. So I'm going to go check out YouTube and see if it's on the screen. And if it is, we'll try to do this thing, I guess. Just bear with me, folks. I'm really sorry. Sorry. Well, we have sound. That's a good thing. Sorry. Well, we have sound. That's a good thing. Okay, so at least I can do this on my phone. Okay, so at least I can do this on my phone. I'm sorry, folks. I don't even know if. I'm sorry, folks. I don't even know if. I'm sorry, folks. I'm gonna try to get back on YouTube and see if I can use the bear with me, folks. I'm really sorry this is happening right now. Are you hearing me or no? Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm live because this thing has been a complete and utter craziness. I had to turn the volume down on my phone or on the computer. It's just been a mess. It was showing that my computer or my microphone was working. My son, who's a lot more computer savvy than me, was actually came up here to try to fix everything, and I'm just, we're just like, come on, man, really? So if anybody's in the chat, please feel free to type your name in if you have any questions. Again, I am giving away. I don't know if there's going to be anybody here now, but I plan on giving away a gift card for questions. Whoever asks a question who is a subscriber, those are the criteria. You have to be a subscriber to the channel, and you also have to submit a question. And out of those questions, I will choose a winner. But who knows? I probably lost everybody now. It's too bad, but unfortunately, this, technology, it's a blessing and a curse. I just wanted to thank everybody who subscribed. I have 1,000. See, I can't wear my glasses because the screen is like, you can see the screen being all funky. I don't know if I can fix that without the chat. I don't know. I'll stay on here for like 10 minutes. If nobody submits any questions, then I'll just call it a night. Call it an absolute failure. Brian Lippert. Forgive me for trying to remember, but I believe you are the gentleman who has the Maxim Manor display in Cedar Creek that I filmed a couple weeks ago. Or a couple years ago. My gosh, a couple weeks ago. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. I do appreciate that, sir. He said correct. Thank you. I did drive by there many times this fall. I just never had a chance to stop by and film. I didn't have a chance to do much filming for Halloween at all this year. But you do have an awesome display every year, and I do enjoy driving by it. And one of these days, I'd love to get into that Maxim house that's down the road on Z. Right, what, 3 doors down from you? That's a cool looking building, and I don't know if it's a private residence. I'm assuming it's a private residence, but yeah, I love that area. The cemetery, the Cedar Creek Cemetery, and your display as well. Brian he has a really cool display every year for Halloween and Christmas, but he goes all out for Halloween more than Christmas. So if you're ever in the West Bend area and you're driving down Highway NN, or actually Z, and you get to Highway C, you'll come into Cedar Creek and you got to slow down. It's like 25 miles an hour. The cemetery I talk about is probably a quarter mile. Yeah, it's about a quarter mile. Awesome French style home, and yes, it is a residence. Well, cool. I mean, it's. I'm glad that building still exists. If you, um, like I said, like I was saying, if you come on Z before you get to C, you'll come into Cedar Creek and you'll slow down to 25. Brian's display, you can't miss it because it's right there. It is like boom. You turn the corner, a little bit of a corner, and boom, it's right there. Maxim, I believe he called it Maxim Manor. I'm not sure. But neat Halloween display. A lot of stuff, a lot of the stuff Brian made himself, which is really cool. A lot of the gravestones, a lot of the props. Real cool display. If you're in that area, check it out. Um, Maxonville Manor. Thank you, sir. I was close. I didn't have the Ville, but I had the Maxim. Um, the reason it's Maxonville Manor is a gentleman named, oh, geez, Densmore Maxim. He's buried at the Cedar Creek Cemetery, which is down the road from Brian's house. And it's a real neat cemetery, real small. There's been so many interesting things that I found out about it. There's a gentleman, Milton Maxim, one of the great grandsons. He actually made a little book about the cemetery that's at the West Bend Library in town where I live. And he documented like all the graves and who's there of importance. And Densmore Maxim is a pretty important figure in Wisconsin political history. I think he was involved in Washington too. It's been like 10, 15 years since I took that book out at the library. But Milton's buried there as well. And it's just a real cool cemetery. For a long time, it was overgrown and it was just neglected. And then they finally cleaned it up and they take good care of the cemetery now. But there's been reports of hauntings. I had a really weird experience there. A friend of mine, I haven't talked to this guy in years, but a former friend of mine, and I were trying to film a horror movie in West Bend. And I was calling it Pitchfork Harry. And one of the locations we were shooting was a graveyard scene. So we went there because it's a creepy cemetery kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And as we're filming, we get to we pan towards the north end of the cemetery. And as we get to the north end of the cemetery, there's these two kids there. And they're dressed in, I'm not kidding, they're dressed in period clothing. We both saw it. And all of a sudden, we panned back and panned again, and there was nobody there. And I had it on a VHS somewhere because it's one of those old cameras with the VHSs you put in there. And I don't know if he has a copy of it or I do. I tried to find it, but I can't find that footage. And it's like, we saw it. We both saw it, and we were both freaked out. And we're like, yeah, I think we're done filming for at least here for today. So, but there's also supposedly a witch buried there. All sorts of crazy stories about this little cemetery called Cedar Creek Cemetery. But it's a real cool cemetery. Brian, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. Geez Louise. Like I said, 1,000 subscribers. I started this channel almost 4 years ago. And like I said in a previous episode, I was bored. I was out with an injury to my left arm and shoulder. And COVID had started. And I was just like, I can't sit in the house. I got to do something. So I got a lower end GoPro off of Amazon. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go around and, people are doing all this YouTube stuff. I'm going to go around and start filming stuff. So went around, started filming stuff. And almost 4 years later, I'm still going around. I'm still filming stuff. This time I actually do have a GoPro. But it's a GoPro 8. So I think I'm due for an upgrade there. Other than that, the subscribers, thank you very, very much. You know, I'm humbled. I know it doesn't seem like a lot of people because look, there's other people out there, with hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers. There's this Mr. Beast guy who's got like, I don't know, the whole world is subscribed to this guy. He probably makes $15 million a day. Who knows what the guy makes on YouTube? Anyhow, I just wanted to say 1,000 subscribers. That's great. I'm humbled, and I'm thrilled. Again, if anybody else is on here and you want to throw out a question, please do. Brian has commented so far, and I appreciate Brian's comments. If Brian's the only person that's commented, guess what, Brian? You might win. You just might win. Think of something, Brian. Ask me what my favorite baseball team is. And I'll say, nobody right now. Anyways, that's going on. I got a list. I've been going on the internet. Thank you very much, Sue. I appreciate that. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate that very much. That's not a question, but that's nice. I got a list that I started working on of places that I want to hit this year in Wisconsin so far. This is just Wisconsin alone. And plus, I'd like to get out and do more stuff. I'd like to hit some, out-of-state trips again this year. Once again, I don't have that stuff. Nothing is planned definitely yet. I'm just putting down places where there's cool roadside attractions. There's some paranormal stuff. There's, oddities. Just there's so much stuff in the state of Wisconsin. I could stay busy just filming here for forever. I mean, stuff changes all the time, but it's a work in progress. So I appreciate everybody. I really do. I mean, I'm just thankful that I can come on here and thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Perhaps I'm overdoing it with the thank yous for the 1,000 subscribers, but I'm genuinely thankful. I wasn't expecting to even hit this mark ever. I was just hoping to have people enjoy what I do. I'm not the best at it. So I just, I'm thankful. So anybody else have any questions? Do you want my life story? No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to give you my life story. There's too much there. Anybody got anything? Hank the Frank. This gentleman. Thank you, Hank the Frank. Did you have the traditional pickle herring for the... Oh, no. No. It's funny because my parents, they did that. They did the cannibal sandwiches, the raw beef and the onions on the rye bread. I was kind of, like the Ma Bench's herring. I was kind of like, the sour cream sounds pretty good, but I don't know. Sardines. I used to eat sardines as a kid. I haven't had a sardine probably in 30 years. But the Ma Bench's herring, people say it's really good. I just never tried it. I just was one of those kids who would do the Tom and Jerry's at Christmas time. The non-alcoholic Tom and Jerry's. Actually, I think my parents, they probably did put booze in them. Who knows? No, I did not ever have pickled herring. But thanks, Hank the Frank. I appreciate you. Hank the Frank is one of the people that have been commenting on my episodes. He is a fellow Wisconsinite, lives not too far from where I am. And I appreciate you coming on too, Hank the Frank. And you did have a question, so Brian, he's one up on you. So you gotta maybe think of something. If not, I might have to give it to Hank. I tried the sour cream version for the first time this past week. It was good. Like I said, it probably is. Interesting thing about Ma Bench's herring. Um, I'm into paranormal stuff, and apparently Ma Bench's Herring Company, where they make it, apparently there's paranormal activity happening at Ma Bench's Herring Company. So that's down in, I believe, Milwaukee, I believe. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. Ma Bench's Herring, though, that would be some interesting stuff to try. My wife loves herring. She's making a face right now that you don't want to see. I should turn this camera on her, but I won't. Um, no, I haven't. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Did you miss something? Were you gone? I don't know. Yes, Hank the Frank. He came on and he has thrown a couple. He's thrown a question at me, Brian. So he's one up to you. So he is now in the lead for the gift card. So you might have to ask me a question like, what kind of tires do you have on your car? How much snow did you get? It's still snowing here. We've had a snow event that started. Oh geez, what, during the night? And I think it's still snowing here. We've probably got, I don't know, 7, 8 inches of snow. And from what I hear, we have another snow event coming Friday and Saturday with another possible 8 to 12 inches of snow. Brian, you are correct. That's clever. I didn't even think of that. That is so clever. Did I miss something? That is a question. You are correct. You are correct. Did I miss something? Is a question. Anybody else? There are more people on right now, so if anybody else wants to chime in, you got any questions for me? Anything else? If not, just want to see if I missed anything. I did just ask. Yes, I had to walk away from the kid. I have two well, they're growing up now. They're 23 and 18, but I still have to walk away from them too. My son will call me and say, "Hey, I locked my keys in the car." So I've had to go help him with that. That's a couple of years ago. I think so now he has a different car, so he doesn't have that problem anymore. Geez, what else? What else do I got other than my little list of stuff here? I'll read a couple things that I'm looking at filming this year. Did you know that in Clintonville, Wisconsin, there is in a park a section of the Great Wall of China? Yeah, found that out. So that's a place I'll probably be heading to this year. There's also Middleton, Wisconsin, a mustard museum. There's a lot of museums in town here. There's actually on the outskirts of Hartford, between Hartford and Oconomowoc on Highway 67, there's a honey museum. It's called Honey Acres. So I'll probably film that this year. In Waukesha, did you know that there is a Nike missile site? Didn't know that. So I'm going to go check that out probably this year too. Do some paranormal stuff. There's a hotel in Fond du Lac called the Retlaw Hotel that is supposedly haunted. It's the owner's actual first name backwards. Walter. Retlaw is Walter backwards. So I'm going to probably check that out. There's another place down in Milwaukee that's notorious called the Brumder Mansion. The only problem I have with that one is that it's location. If I'm going to be staying overnight on 34th and Wisconsin Avenue down in Milwaukee, I hope they have secure parking. But I would like to check that out because that's really, really supposed to be haunted. And the interesting thing about this, seeing how this chat is not made for kids, one of the people haunting the Brumder Mansion is a person that goes by the name of Aunt Puss. Figure out the rest. So I'm not going to go total crazy with that. But Aunt Puss is supposedly one of the people that are haunting the Brumder Mansion. J Road, which is right over here in Boltonville. It's a very long road that runs from 144 out here in Washington County all the way to the lakefront, Lake Michigan. It's about 15 miles, 16 miles. There's some paranormal activity that's been reported on that whole road. So I want to go there like during the middle of the night. I do have a night vision camera and film an episode of that, see if we find anything, on J Road to solidify the claims, You never know. What else? Whitewater. I've wanted to film Whitewater since I started this channel because Whitewater is also known as Second Salem. Now, there's been some weird stuff going on in Whitewater. There's apparently the way the ley lines are laid out in that area gives it some kind of paranormal hotspot. Apparently, stuff's been going on throughout that area. And I'm going to go there and check it out and see if I can find anything. I don't know. We'll see. House on the Rock, Spring Green. Been there once. Loved it. That's another place that I want to go out and film again. There's a fellow Wisconsin YouTuber, Maverick Hayes. I've mentioned him a bunch of times on my channel now. I'm hoping to hook up with him this year and get into shenanigans. He's up in the Wisconsin Dells area, I believe. Other than that, like I said, there's places where I'd really like to go, like Gettysburg, because I love the history of Gettysburg, the unfortunate history of Gettysburg, and hoping we don't have another one anytime soon. Salem, Massachusetts, because Salem with the witch trials, paranormal stuff. I love paranormal stuff. I'd like to hit states I've never hit before. I mean, I generally, up until probably 2013, I hadn't really gone far out of Wisconsin. I'd been in Illinois. I'd been to Michigan. Not, upper Michigan, not lower Michigan. Indiana, Iowa, pretty much Midwest. And then I went to work for a friend of mine who owned some Halloween Express stores at the time down in Georgia, the Atlanta area. So that was my first taste of being on a plane. I had never been on a plane before 2013, and I was petrified of going on planes. But I went on a plane. Have you checked out the Civil War reenactment at the Wade House, Hank the Frank? No, I didn't know they had one. I will have to go on. I did film an episode at the Wade House that's in Greenbush, and I did go by there, but unfortunately it was during COVID and they weren't open, so I just kind of walked around the outside perimeter of the grounds and did some filming there. Really neat area. No, I have not checked out the Civil War reenactment. I will have to look that up on the Wade House. Thank you. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I went down to Georgia, and that had been the first time I got on a plane, and thought to myself after I got off the plane, why in the world was I so afraid to fly? It was awesome, So then I started going on road trips like in 2010. Actually, 2010, I went down to Florida. That was my first time to Florida. And then, so I've been to Florida, and then with my sister, we did a couple road trips a couple years back that are on the channel, where we went through Illinois, Mississippi, Arkansas. And then we ended up in New Orleans. That's where we stayed the most. And then we went over to Galveston, Texas. And then we came up from Galveston and did some Route 66. That's another thing that's big on my list. I would like to do the whole Route 66. I've done parts of it. I did all of Illinois. That was on my channel last fall. That was neat. Illinois, surprisingly, Once you're out of Chicago, Illinois is a totally different state. It's just like two states. You have Chicago, then you have Illinois. And to go on some of those, to go into some of those little towns off of Route 66, and surprisingly, Route 66 is marked very well. All things considered, it's decommissioned, and it was very easy. I had the Google Maps going, but it was very easy to navigate because they had signs everywhere telling you what section it was of the road, when it was part of Route 66. So that was really neat. Had fun doing that. Where else have I been? San Diego. Didn't film that though. That was like a family vacation before I started my channel. And then we also did Tucson, Arizona before I started my channel. Those are places I would love to get back out to again. I don't know, California. I'm not trying to 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 be political here, but from what I'm hearing from people, California is really not going in the right direction, which is too bad. But I'm trying not to shake this phone too much. I got to actually, like I said, folks, this is my third attempt tonight at doing the live stream because on my computer, I wasn't getting any sound, and I don't know why. Everything was working properly. So my wife suggested use your phone, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll use the phone. And thank goodness it's working. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Other than that, yeah, let's see here. I'm not missing anything else. Hank the Frank, Brian, anybody else? Anybody else have a question for me? Once again, I am giving away a gift card to somebody who posts a question. So far, we have two subscribers that have posted questions. And thank you both for doing that, Brian and Hank the Frank. I appreciate it very much. Brian's question was interesting. It was a question. It technically was a question. Other than that, gosh, folks, not looking forward to going out in the snow. And we got another snowstorm coming again, like I said, Friday and Saturday, I guess. And then it gets cold. So we're going to be in the deep freeze. And I just uploaded my last episode that I actually have filmed that was in the can. That was the one that just came out yesterday of the old bridge, some stuff I filmed in the area where I live. Other than that, I don't have anything. I had plans to go to the Milwaukee Public Museum and do a filming there because they're building a new museum building. And I have heard that there's this one section there called the Streets of Old Milwaukee, which is really popular. But I guess in the new building, that's not going to be there anymore. They're getting rid of the Streets of Old Milwaukee, which is a shame because I think that's one of the main reasons why people go there. Just my opinion. It's the main reason why I like to go there because I like to see, what Milwaukee was like back in the day. So I will probably go film that this weekend. Geez Louise. But other than that, I don't have anything to release until I get that filmed. And I have to work the rest of the week. And now with the snowstorm coming up Thursday and Friday, those of you who don't know, I deliver food for a living. I do DoorDash, and it's not going to be fun delivering DoorDash. I did have some videos of DoorDash up on my channel, and I decided long and hard, and I was really sounding whiny putting those videos up. So I decided to take all those videos off my channel because I didn't, every job has its ups and downs. And as I was going back and watching a couple of those, I thought to myself, you look like a whiny little bitch. Just being honest, my wife's snickering over there, but it's true. I looked at him again and I'm just like, what? Nobody wants to see that on my channel. They don't want to see that stuff. So I took that stuff off. I figured, what's the point? But yeah, with all the snow that we're supposed to be getting and the snow we just had, and I got to work the rest of the week, I'm hoping to get to the museum this week so I can. That light is really, ugh. I don't even need this on, to be honest with you. Here, sorry, folks. I just want to get out of that. All right. So I think I looked better with that. Now I can sit back in my chair and be seen. There we go. So, other than my little plans for this year that I have written down and um, things that I'd like to do outside of the state, there's really nothing else that I have going on. But I have to. Can you do me a favor? Write 2 pieces of paper, write Brian's name, write Hank's name, and put them in a. We must have a hat somewhere, but I will do a drawing in a minute here. And one of you two are going to have to, whoever wins, may the best man win. And thank you guys both for commenting. I appreciate it. The person who does win the gift card. Oh yeah, Hank the Frank. It's got to be a real hoot to be a delivery driver during this crap weather. Drive safe. One of the issues I have, Hank. One of the things, it's a pet peeve of mine. Now, tomorrow when I go out and deliver, I'm not going to expect everybody to have their driveways cleared because, the snow's just ending. People have lives. They got to go to work. It's 5 days after the fact when it snows, when you pull up to these driveways and they're not plowed, they're not cleared, they're not salted, there's ice all over the place. That's what irritates me the most is people that don't clear their driveways after a certain amount of time. And I have fallen down numerous times because of people who have ice on their walkways that's covered in snow that don't bother to salt or anything else like that. It's very, very frustrating. It really, really is. And I, you know, you gotta roll with the punches. I'm not expecting a lot of people to have their driveways and sidewalks clear tomorrow. But hopefully by a couple days, well, we're going to get another snowstorm in a couple days, so it's not going to matter. It's going to be like Groundhog Day. We've been blessed, though, I think, Hank, because the weather here has been pretty good up until today. I mean, we hardly had any snow, and we had a green Christmas. I mean, I really don't care if we have a green Christmas or not, but it's, it's kind of a bummer not to have snow on the ground when it's the holiday season. Um, I'm not a fan of the snow by any means. If I could be in another state right now, I would be. No offense, people of Wisconsin, but I've been here my whole life, and I just want to go somewhere where it's not snowing and 0 degrees, even though we don't get it that much. I mean, a couple weeks out of the year. It's still just want a change of scenery would be nice. So thanks for that comment, Frank. All right, I got my hat here. I got 2 names in it. I'm going to give 1 more minute if anybody else wants to chime in with a question. And if you're a subscriber, 1 more minute. What else can we talk about for 1 more minute? I'm watching the clock. For the 46th time during this live stream, thank you everybody for subscribing and commenting and liking, the videos and whatnot. It means a lot to me. It really does. 1,000 people is something to be proud of, in my opinion. And it would be nice to see that 1,000 go to 2,000 and grow eventually. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible. But all right, we're coming down to 10 more seconds. Should we count it down like New Year's Eve? All right, so I'm shaking up the 2 names in the hat here. Nobody else has commented. And the winner of the gift card is Hank. Sorry, Brian. Thank you guys both for commenting, though. But Hank is the winner of the gift card. Hank, what I would like you to do is shoot me a message. The, my account is HOKEMIKE1968 at gmail.com. Send me an email there. I'll get your information and I will send that gift card out to you. And again, that was a close up. Ooh, I was getting a lot closer here. No, we don't want to do that. Thanks again, everybody, for coming on tonight. I do appreciate it very, very much. Brian, thank you for commenting. Hank or Frank, I'm not sure. It's Hank the Frank. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out if it's Hank or Frank. Maybe I'll just call you Hank Frank. Kidding. Thank you guys both for commenting tonight and for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm going to end the live stream, folks. EA Frank, he has more substance. Brian, it was fair and square. I put your name in a hat, too. I didn't even look when I picked. I was looking this way. You have a great yard display. Hank, pay that man a visit. He's out in Cedar Creek, Wisconsin. Check out his yard display. Maxonville Manor. All right, folks. I'm going to call it a night. But again, thank you very much for coming on. And thanks again. I appreciate the subscribers. And no, I am glad. Excellent. Cool. All right. That's going to do it, folks, for this one. And until the next episode, which probably won't be until next week at some point, because I do have to edit after I film. Unless I can get out and film something before that, it's probably going to be about 5 or 6 days before the next episode. So I usually try to pump them out every 3 days or so, but the weather. Blame the weather. Mother Nature. All right, folks. Thanks. And until the next episode, not even episode, thank you for being on this live stream with me. I appreciate it. And until the next time I see you, I'm Yogi, and I'm out of here, folks. Have a good night. Thanks again. Congratulations, Frank. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.